Hello, Gangaji.
Hello.
I didn't expect to get called this quickly, but uh,
Surprise.
oh my gosh. Okay, well, this is my first day here. I've been on spiritual path for many years, self-realization fellowship, Yogananda, and I found Papaji online, and I've just been watching and watching, and the part of me was like, oh, I wished I could have known Papaji in the body, and I didn't know Yoganandaji in the body, but I know it's all the same
Mm.
beingness. And so I just felt drawn to be here. And my biggest question is, I had the most profound experience of my life in 1993 at Self Realization Fellowship at a convocation where I'd been serving at a retreat. And it was at the end, and there were all these people there, so much love. And I was holding someone's hand, looking straight in their eyes. And all of a sudden, this most profound experience of my life happened, and there was no more me.
Mm.
There was no more ego, no more Nancy. There was no separation. And so much love and so much bliss. And I know that is me,
Mm.
or that is thou, whatever you want to call it. And the spiritual path that I've been on for many years is you have to do many kriyas to awaken to God. And you never know when, to oneness, whatever. So I guess I'm in a very questioning state trying to figure all this out. And I really liked Papaji's because it seems so much quicker.
It is. It's immediate. That's the radicalness of it.
Mhm,
So you have had a true experience,
mhm,
and you know that was a true experience.
mhm,
The challenge is then to not rely on the memory of that. That informed you in a way. And of course, there is a memory of that, and it's a beautiful memory. But if you're looking for another experience to prove that, or to what we call in spiritual circles, to establish ourselves in that, then we are somehow not surrendering to the benefit of what has already been revealed to you. And that is the radicalness of this invitation, because it's not even really a teaching. The teaching is to stop trying to recover this true experience, so that you can recognize that this true experience was revealing the reality of what is always here. So if we do naturally search for a repeat of that, because it feels so great, for one thing. It's an incredible oceanic, true, undeniable feeling. That's beautiful. But if we try to recapture that, or we try to get another one to match that or transcend that too, we overlook what that true experience was actually revealing, pointing to. And that is what is always here. Nancy, Gangaji, they come and go. Experience of oneness, that also comes and goes. But that experience is pointing to what is always here, what doesn't come and go. So in this moment, without any big experience necessary and without any big experience kept out, to recognize the bigness of this self-recognition of I am. Undeniable. You are, right? I mean, whatever you are thinking you are in any given moment, the baseline, the ground, the space is I am,
mhm.
right?
Yes.
Undeniable. And it will be challenged. Your mind will challenge, well, I don't know, maybe I'm not. Let's see, I'm not sure I am. What do you mean by I am? If you just I mean by I am what is always here. In good mind activity and bad mind activity, in the biggest experiences and in the most mundane experiences. And that's what has attracted you to Papaji and has gotten us to meet. Because yes, it is so simple, it is so quick, it's so immediate, it's here. But because of our conditioning, we don't quite believe that. So I've appeared in your life to encourage you to not believe it or disbelieve it. That there's the spaciousness of directly experiencing what is always here, that doesn't require belief and is not affected by disbelief. And you already know that. Then you continue your practices if you like, but they become, or they are, a celebration of this, or a deepening of this, rather than a reaching for or a making sense of. Yes, yes, you hear it.
Some part of me wanted to believe that the people that saw Papaji that were in so much oceanic bliss that they just stayed like that.
Well, it's, that's, I can speak for myself and everyone that I've talked to, and including Papaji himself, that there are moods and emotions and states of mind that appear naturally, just as there's weather and there's seasons and there's smoke in the air or a blue sky in the air that appears naturally. And that's not what we're attempting to change. What we're attempting to change is our overlooking of what is always here. In a blue sky or a dark sky, in emotions of exaltation or emotions of sadness or grief or anger, what remains here always? That's self-realization. Yes, yes. And I feel absolutely blessed to have met Papaji in form. He was an extraordinary form and so filled with grace and power and Shakti. But when he died, when his form was over, I realized even deeper what he was pointing to of what does not die. What does die, which is all form, and what remains here, before form, during formedness, and in formlessness. And that's who you are. You call yourself Nancy, or I call myself Gangaji, or you call yourself me or I, but those are the names. The truth of yourself includes those names, but is bigger than any name, closer.
Thank you, Gangaji.
Oh, I'm so
Very
happy to
grateful.
meet you. Really, so happy to
mean,
meet you.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you for raising your hand so quickly. Great, thank you. It's so beautiful that we have YouTube and we have different platforms. The Gangaji Foundation website has clips of Papaji, and that in this blessing of the technology of our time, of Zoom and of YouTube and clips, the videos, and it can be shared and seen, we get to meet each other, whether our form is here alive or the form is dead and gone. And so that's a very special grace, a special time that we have together in form. So you can say, if you have seen Papaji on video, I mean, he has a beautiful presence on video. He comes right out into it. And that's the way he was in real life, that the video is not artificial life. It actually captures real life. So if you haven't seen any of his clips online, I recommend you go to well, you could start at the Gangaji web page, and then you will be referred to multiple web pages where luckily, he was filmed at the end of his life. Anyway, the last 10 years of his life, he was seen in all of his glory. And the transmission is alive. Transmission is alive in a picture. I remember seeing a picture of Ramana that Papaji had given me, had given Eli and me. So it was infused with he very carefully cut it out of this magazine that came from Ramana Ashram, and he gave it to us, and we took it with us, and we had a layover in Delhi before we flew back to the States, and the picture came alive. I saw Ramana for the first time because I was looking at Ramana, a picture of Ramana. Ramana was long dead as form, but the picture was a reflection of what is alive in me and what is alive in you. So it is still alive. It is life itself.